Hey, my name is Mark Underwood. I am from Dayton, Ohio. I was, this is called Man Cave Recording Studio, which is my man cave until I come up with a different name. But I'm a mixer, recorder, songwriter, mixer engineer, songwriter, musician. You know, we wear a lot of titles, so I'm a one-man operation right now, but this is my studio in my home. Oh gosh, man. I've been doing music since I was 10. I started playing trumpet, then I went to tuba, played sax. Oh, this is when I was in elementary school, middle school, and high school. Then I went to college for a year before I joined the Army. I played tuba at Central State University. So, yeah, I've been doing music for a while. Took music theory in school and things like that. So, yeah, I've been doing it for a while. And I got into the recording engineering and the studio work with a friend of mine that owned a recording studio in Waco, Texas. It was a couple of friends of mine, one named Grover Chambers. He had a record label. I ended up working with his record label. And there's another guy named Robert Wells that they worked together. And I ended up doing music, and that's how I ended up doing the music for a group called A Different Taste. But yeah, I've been doing music for a while and just doing for different independent artists over the years in conjunction with my military career, which is probably a whole different probably a different subject. Wow, I was doing my research on a lot of interfaces. I had bought some lower price interfaces, which was the Personas Audio Box, the Personas 1818, which I still have, Focusrite, the M Audio, just quite a few. But I was doing my research and I finally realized that for the level of work that I want to do on a high-end professional level, those interfaces just wasn't going to cut it. And I know that there are a lot of great interface companies out there. I'm not going to name the competitors, but there are a lot of great interface companies out there. But I felt for the sound quality and the level of sound quality that you're going to get based on the value of the pricing of the unit, it just couldn't be beat. So that's why I figured I would go with the Antelope. And their latest one was they have the HD system, but I have the really great, the Antelope Orion 32 Plus. It's the Gen 3. It came out pretty much last year, 2019, I believe. But it's such a great sounding interface. I just had to go with it. The way I just did my research on it for the A to D to D to A converters. What it did was it gave me an opportunity to really hear how this console, this Allen and Heath, can really sound, especially with conjunctions of using plugins and my outboard gear. It was the smart choice to go with. So that's the reason why I went with the Antelope Orion. For the Allen and Heath console, this console is a really good sounding console. There are the big boys out there. We're talking your API, your Neve, your SSL consoles, but for the price I bought this console, you would understand why I went with this console. It fits my needs for what I need to do for now. Not saying that maybe I won't upgrade later. The pricing of a lot of these high-end consoles are coming more affordable. And who knows, one day you might see a Neve console in here, or maybe an API. But the Allen and Heath actually sounds, it's a really nice sounding console, and it fits the need with the auxiliaries and the routing and everything that I need to do, and to get the job done. It works well. I'm not saying that I don't use plugins. I have a lot of plugins. I was checking when I did my latest plugin search on my hard drive. There's over 500 plus plugins that I have installed. You know, I've run a lot of, I'm running the Waves, I'm running Slate Digital. I have T-Rex, IK Multimedia, T-Rex Max. I do have some other companies. You know, there is PSP AudioWare. You name it. There's a lot of I'm sitting there naming names. I really don't like to name a lot of names for a video like this, but there's a lot. Acoustic audio. There's quite a few, and I use them sparingly. But the sound of, and I don't have a lot of the high-end hardware, but it's something about when you're running your sound through an actual hardware compressor, an EQ here, a compressor there, coming through a console, along with a great converter like the Antelope that I have. You hear the dynamics of the mix, to me, a little bit more present than just plugins and in the box alone. It's just the way I like. I'm a little more old school, so it's kind of a little bit more the way I prefer to work, and the way I like the sound for me. So it's the reason why I prefer to use hardware as much as I can. Hardware can give you problems, but overall, I just like the sound of it. I for some odd reason, I can distinctively hear the difference running through hardware more than I can plugins. Not just saying that plugins don't do a great job. I wouldn't have so many if I didn't think plugins were great. But hardware seemed to be just it for me. You know, I've stated in my videos before that I thought I couldn't hear or mix like I want to. Nothing was resonating like it should before I got the Antelope. But when I got the Antelope, everything became a lot more present across the console. I started hearing everything in details like I needed to, and that was the reason why I believe that the Antelope just improved the sound tremendously. I am confident now with the way my Antelope sound that I can record and mix in here and make people think it was never done in a home. And my goal was to make sure that if I'm recording and mixing in here, my goal was to make sure that you thought it was done in some of the top studios around the world. That was my goal. The reason why I chose a console with outboard gear, and I knew that I needed an AD to DA converter that would match that. And the Antelope runs with the best of them. And so with that was the missing ingredient that I needed to now be able to start recording and mixing clients, so that way I can actually make people proud to say, you know what, I've done this at Mark's studio, at my studio, and I am proud to sit there and say that I think it will definitely compare to if they went to any big studio. Since I'm here in Tennessee, I'm just outside, I'm not just outside, but I'm really close to Nashville, which is, the Nashville has a lot of great studios, but You know, my goal was to make sure that my studio here in my house was going to compete with Nashville studios, LA studios, New York studios, London studios, any studio around the world, because I knew the Antelope was going to give me that competitive edge. So that's the reason why I went with the Antelope, and it's definitely living up to its potential. So that was the reason why I think it improved my sound. And with that, dealing with some great people, talking to some great people at Vintage King, and I'm not getting paid by Antelope or Vintage King to say this, but they've been some really great help in making sure that I get set up properly, between Antelope, the company itself, and Vintage King reaching out and contacting me and making sure everything was set up properly. It definitely made a difference for me to get up. I haven't had the Antelope very long, but I can immediately tell when I started using it. It was like, wow, okay, yeah, that's definitely what I needed to put my studio on that level. So I believe that. So if anyone is, like I said, this is not me getting paid, but I highly recommend it. And if you look into the Antelope, I definitely recommend that you get it from Vintage King. They are a really great company that will work with you. They're not too, they won't, you know how you try to deal with someone and they want to, that you got to put in a ticket and wait for an email response 5 weeks later or whatever. No, these guys answer the phone. They contact you, by email. It's instantaneously, and they want to make sure that you have a great experience. That's why I recommend getting it from Vintage King. So other than that, that's all I can say about it. It's just that, I'm very happy. I can sit there and say I'm very happy with my setup here in my studio, that I can now feel confident that I might be able to open up to the public and be able to record and mix in here and give them a very great competitive recording and mixing experience here at my studio.